天の自由
The time has finally arrived, my fellow anime enthusiasts! I have received countless requests from all of you in the Instagram comments, YouTube comments, the DMs, Twitter, Discord, and everywhere else to discuss the ultimate showdown between two of the greatest anime powerhouses, the Hokage from Naruto and the Yonko from One Piece. To properly set the stage for this epic clash, we must first dwell into the scenario proposed by many of you. Team Yonko will consist of the most legendary and fearsome pirates of their time: Gold Roger, Whitebeard, Blackbeard, Big Mom, Kaido, and Shanks, all in their prime. Conversely, Team Hokage will feature the strongest ninjas of their respective eras: Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, Kakashi, and Naruto. However, there are a few exceptions to note. Naruto will not have access to his Baryon mode. Kakashi will not be counted due to not achieving Hokage status at that level, and Minato will not have access to his Kurama Chakra mode since he did not become a nine-tailed Jinchuriki after his death. Normally, we would analyze these teams through one-on-one matchups as well as a group battle. However, for the sake of drama and excitement, I will forego the former and jump straight into the latter. When it comes into a group battle, teamwork becomes crucial and can shift the tide of the fight in unexpected ways. Now let the battle commence. The air crackles with tension as the two teams face off against each other, their eyes ablaze with determination. Who will emerge victorious in this titanic struggle? Only time will tell. As the looming threat of the Yonko and their armies encroached upon the horizon, Naruto knew he had to act fast. He had a plan, a risky move that would require all his power and skill to pull off, but he had faith in his abilities and the unwavering support of his allies. The plan was simple yet daunting. Naruto would have to give every member of his camp a powerful QB cloak and an army of personal shadow clones. It was a move they had seen before in the Fourth Great Ninja War, but this time the stakes were higher, and the outcome more critical. With the cloaks, they would have increased chakra capacity, attack power, defense, speed, and healing capabilities. It was everything they needed to hold their ground against the formidable Yonko and their armies. But the question remained, how would the Yonko respond? Naruto knew that the Yonko possessed advanced abilities like observation haki, which allowed them to see into the future. He had to assume they would predict his move, but he also knew that stopping him would be nearly impossible. The Yonko would have to adapt, and Naruto had anticipated that. He knew that Blackbeard, one of Yonko, had access to the Yami Yami no Mi, the Gura Gura no Mi, and even Whitebeard's Devil Fruit. Blackbeard could easily absorb long-range ninjutsu and put down the Yami Yami no Mi on the ground, creating a dark void that could swallow everything in its path. Blackbeard was a formidable opponent. His abilities could nullify many of the Hokage's moves. Hydrodamas and Wood Golem would have trouble being summoned since they could get absorbed, and the Shadow Clones would have difficulty moving around. But Naruto was not without his own arsenal of powerful techniques. Even though he lacked access to burial mode, he had the Sage of Six Paths, Senjutsu, and Truth-Seeking Orbs at his disposal. He could nullify attacks and even counter Blackbeard's moves. But he had to be careful not to be too reckless in his approach since he did not have the ability to take many direct hits from the Gura Gura no Mi. Naruto knew that this would be a difficult battle, but he was confident in his plan and the abilities of his teammates. Together, they were the best duo on Team Hokage, and they would stop at nothing to protect their village and their way of life. Hashirama and Tobirama, the first and second Hokage, respectively, make a formidable duo. Hashirama's senjutsu is among the greatest in Naruto, and he possesses a unique ability to manipulate wood that makes his shadow clones much tougher to deal with than regular shadow clones. Additionally, he can summon a colossal wood golem to his aid, and his regenerative cells are highly sought after in the series. Meanwhile, Tobirama is a master of space-time ninjutsu and created several techniques, including explosive tags and the Flying Thunder God technique. He's also agile and intelligent, making him a force to be reckoned with. However, facing off against Big Mom and Kaido will be no easy task. The two Yonko have a history with each other from their time together on Rox's crew, and they have recently formed a new alliance in Wano. As a result, they know each other's strengths and weaknesses intimately, making them a perfect tag team to take on the Senju brothers. One aspect of this matchup that makes it particularly intriguing is the potential for Big Mom's Soul Fruit to come into play. Her ability to manipulate souls could possibly disrupt Hashirama's wood clones, putting Team Hokage at a disadvantage. Moreover, if that doesn't work, Big Mom's Conqueror's Haki could prove devastating, as we saw during the wedding. Her screech was powerful enough to force people like Karakuri to put earplugs in to protect themselves. This ability could be a game changer in the battle, as it has the potential to incapacitate the Senju brothers and turn the tide in the Yonko's favor. If one were caught off guard by Big Mom's Conqueror's Haki, they would likely be knocked out immediately. Her willpower is incredibly strong, making her power almost unbeatable. A combined Conqueror's Haki attack from both Big Mom and Kaido would pose a significant challenge for Hashirama's Wood Shadow clones. However, Hashirama and Tobirama both have strong willpower and speed. Tobirama is arguably the fastest of the four fighters thanks to his flying Raijin technique. However, Big Mom and Kaido have access to future sight observation Haki, which means they would be able to react to a flying Raijin attack if they can see it coming in the future. Assuming that Naruto's truth-seeking orbs could nullify the effects of Blackbeard's Yamamidomi, we can assume that Hashirama's Wood Golem would be a powerful force to contend with. However, if Blackbeard is able to absorb any of the Wood Golems or Shadow clones, this could make the battle much easier for Big Mom and Kaido, as they would not have to worry about the Wood Golem. Regarding speed, we previously discussed Tobirama's flying Raijin technique, but we did not mention Minato Namikaze, who improved on Tobirama's technique with the Flying Thunder God technique. Minato can teleport long-range attacks away, which means he could potentially teleport Kaido's powerful Fire Blast somewhere else, making it less effective in battle. However, Minato's first and only move in this scenario would be to mark Kaido, as he does not have access to Kurama Chakra. While he was Hokage, Minato could summon toads and had top-tier stealing techniques, but these would not be as effective against the Yonko unless they were in a compromising position. Scenario 1. If Hashirama and Tobirama can avoid Big Mom and Kaido's Conqueror Haki and combine their forces with Naruto and Minato, they may be able to overpower the Yonko. Scenario 2. If Big Mom and Kaido are able to absorb or nullify the effects of Hashirama's Wood Golem or Naruto's Shadow clones, the battle will become much more difficult for the Alliance. Scenario 3. If Minato can successfully mark Kaido and teleport his long-range attacks away, this could give the Alliance an advantage in the battle. Overall, this battle would be incredibly difficult and require a lot of strategy and teamwork from the Alliance to defeat Big Mom and Kaido. The mention of Prime Roger and Prime Whitebeard immediately sets the bar high for the level of durability and Conqueror's Haki present in this battle. Their 3-day fight is legendary and showcases the heights of their abilities. Whitebeard's durability is particularly noteworthy, having endured hundreds of wounds and standing until his death. With the addition of these two powerhouses, Naruto and his team would have to be constantly on the move, even if they are dealing with Blackbeard. The prime versions of Whitebeard and Roger would be a formidable duo to contend with, and their stamina and durability are unmatched. However, there is another X factor to consider: Kakashi Hatake and his Kamui abilities. If Blackbeard is able to nullify the effects of the chakra cloaks by absorbing them, then either Whitebeard or Roger could easily take down Kakashi. Without access to DMS, he is at a disadvantage against these legendary figures. But the introduction of red-haired Shanks into the equation adds another layer of complexity to the battle. As fans, we are eagerly anticipating the reveal of Shanks' full power in the upcoming film. We know he is one of the strongest pirates in the world, and his presence in this battle could shift the tide in unpredictable ways. The power levels of each character are critical to consider in this battle. Naruto and his team have powerful abilities, but they are facing some of the strongest figures in One Piece history. The outcome of this battle could go in many different directions, depending on which character make their move and how they interact with one another. First, if Blackbeard is able to nullify the effects of the chakra cloaks and absorb the Wood Golem or Shadow clones, it would make it easier for Big Mom and Kaido to take down the Wood Shadow clones and Hashirama. This could result in a tag team battle between the Yonko and Naruto, Kakashi and Tobirama. Second, if Naruto is able to nullify the effects of Blackbeard's Yamamidomi early on in the fight, it could give Kakashi an advantage to use his Kamui and help Naruto take down Blackbeard quickly. Third, if Minato is able to mark Kaido and teleport his long-range attacks away, it could make it harder for Kaido to use his Fire Blast and give Minato an opportunity to attack. Fourth, if Prime Whitebeard and Prime Roger join the battle and their durability and Conqueror's Haki abilities prove to be too much for the other teams to handle, it could result in their victory. Fifth, If red-haired Shanks appears to join the battle, his power could shift the balance in favor of whichever side he decides to fight for. And lastly, there are just some possibilities, and the actual outcome of the battle would depend on many factors, such as the strategies used, the abilities of each character, and any unforeseen events that could occur during the fight. The first thing to consider is the top-tier fighters involved. Mihawk is the world's greatest swordsman, and we know that Shanks has been sparring with him, and we can assume that Shanks is around that level. Shanks idolized and studied Goldie Roger's game, so one can argue that he modeled his swordplay after Roger's. Shanks also has incredible Conqueror's Haki. We've seen him clash weapons with Whitebeard and split the sky, and in the Shanks SBS they spoke about his observation Haki. So we know that Haki is his strong suit. With his mastery of Haki, one could argue that Shanks could intercept Kakashi without DMS and take him out. This is solely based on speculation on how strong you believe Kakashi is without double Mangekyo Sharingan. Now let's look at the remaining fighters. Tsunade and Hiruzen. Hiruzen was the sensei to the legendary Sanin, and Tsunade is part of that group. We can talk about her healing technique and her attack power, which was enough to crack Madara's Susanoo a little bit. Coupled with Hiruzen's top-tier ninjutsu and access to the Reaper Death Seal, they could definitely put up a good fight. If Shanks were able to defeat Kakashi, he would not do it easily, and a weakened Shanks would be susceptible to Hiruzen's Reaper Death Seal. Would Conqueror's Haki play a role here? Probably not, because the only possible counters to the Reaper Death Seal that I can think of are Blackbeard's nullifying Devil Fruit technique, or Big Mom's Soul Fruit. Now let's pick a winner. With Shanks, Kakashi, and Blackbeard all defeated, the game changes. I believe Prime Whitebeard would be able to hold off Tsunade. Whitebeard has been stated by Sengoku to have the power to destroy the world as a pirate king, and Prime Roger's only duty here is to hold up Naruto for as long as possible. How strong do you believe Roger's Haki is? If I'm seeing him going up against Prime Whitebeard and hearing stories about him defeating the Rocks pirates, one can assume that his Haki in One Piece is top 3 at a minimum. This means that Naruto is not going to defeat Roger in his prime easily. I believe Kaido and Big Mom would have a great chance of winning here based on their high levels of Haki. They would be able to disrupt a lot of the ninjutsu that Tobirama and Hashirama have in their arsenal. The only answer they would have is a Minato that does not have access to Kurama Chakra mode. If a non-very own mode Naruto must fight a Prime Whitebeard, a Prime Roger, a Big Mom, and a Kaido, he's losing. In this condition, the Yonko team would win for me. If Kakashi had access to DMS, Minato had access to Kurama Chakra mode, and Naruto had access to Baryon mode, it would be a no-brainer. Now you guys let me know down in the comments section below who you would take, Team Yonko or Team Hokage. With that, we'll see you next time. Peace.